In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do the sleep paralysis skip, the method I use, and the route I take afterwards. First thing you're actually going to have to do is on your Steam, go to Stray. You need to be using patch 2. Let's go to your game properties, go to betas, and type in the code patch 2 please. And click check code, and you'll unlock patch 2. This is currently the patch we use for speedrunning any percent, mainly because of sleep paralysis. So first up, most important thing, you need to make sure that you're on 30 FPS. If you are not, you're going to fly away into the sky. Now, why am I starting this clip downstairs? Everyone else starts it upstairs. Well, I don't know why, but I found that if you go upstairs and reset checkpoint, it will work first time, every time. No idea why, it just does. You can try it with or without, and you can see if you agree. So I'm going to run up the stairs. The second I see the checkpoint, reload last checkpoint. This is going to add 5 or 6 seconds depending on how the load takes, but it's worth it in the end because for me, I get it every time using this method. Now because of the checkpoint, I have to do this in full speed. So I run all the way to the left, turn, do a couple taps, he does the tiny step, and then we do the skip. Okay, now for a little more explanation. First up, you run all the way to the left of the shelf, then you aim right about here, in line with kind of where this top piece is here. So I press W, and I hold W and D until the cat stops rotating on the right, and then I just tap, tap, tap D until he does a little step. Now if you didn't know, if you look at my coordinate in the top left, my X is minus 42.282. The goal of the sleep paralysis setup is to get to that specific coordinate, 282. If you're not in 282, this trick will not work. There's lots of different setups that people use here. They all lead to that same thing, 282. And I don't know if it's only this setup, but for some reason, if I do the checkpoint reset, I always get 282. If I don't do the checkpoint reset, I have to be extremely precise, and I find it's much more difficult. If you get really good at it, you'll save a little bit more time not doing the reset. But if you're struggling, that's my tip. Reload checkpoint the second you get to the top of the stairs, and maybe you'll get it first time every time like me, and it doesn't even matter if you tap fast or slow. Now, once your cat does the little step and you're in 282, you tap S to turn around, you aim somewhere kind of in this general area. Everyone usually says aim at the right side of the red on this. If you do it quickly, the camera is still panning, and you'll see if you sit there for a minute, it's going like this. So like, I don't think it's super important because the camera's still moving anyway, so it doesn't have to be super accurate, but generally in this spot works fine. Then you want to sprint backwards and jump down to the right. Now one thing a lot of people say is that when your camera starts panning out, you wait for the camera to start flickering and then you jump down. The timing doesn't actually matter, you can do it right away if you want. The thing that's mostly important is how fast the tap is when you jump down. If I tap right and jump at the exact same time, just really quickly, it probably won't work. See, I did that really quickly, everything was perfect, didn't work. Here's a perfect example of why I use the reset. Now that I'm not on a reset, I can't get 282. I don't know why. I think it's something to do with the camera panning. I just got it there. But if I do a reset, I get it first try. So again, we're in 282. I aim about here. I sprint backwards. And this time, listen to how long I tap D and click. It's hard to explain, so just kind of listen and gauge, I guess. It's just a little bit longer than tap. That's it. And that tip right there, that was actually a tip from a Rims, who's currently the world record holder. It's a little more than just tapping it quickly. You have to hold it for a split second. And after I knew that, I was getting it every time. So now full speed. Once the checkpoint reload, run to the left, aim to this spot, tap right a couple times. He does a step, turn around, aim at the right side of the red, sprint backwards, tap and jump down. Now, as soon as your cat starts flying, you want to turn your camera around 180 degrees and start running this way towards the wooden poles. You're going to be pressing W and D to kind of run down like this. Don't get too close to the wall on the left because you will clip into it. Once you clip into it, it's game over. You're going to lose a lot of time. You're going to go flying up into the sky. No good. So just try and stay away from the wall a little bit until you can jump on this post. Once you can jump on the post, you're then grounded. You're no longer flying until you walk off the edge of something. Okay, now for the route. There's a few alternate routes, but I believe this is the fastest route. So you're going to run out here, run up the stairs, and you want to run right, aim right between this robot's legs. You're going to clip onto the floor. You're going to run over here. Now one thing to note is if you go straight through this, you're going to hit the bottom of this. If you look at it from the side and you can see See the floor? Basically think of there being a wall there. You don't want to run into that wall or it's going to send you out this way and it's not going to work. You want to aim more for the right side. You want to aim kind of right in here. Just like that. Clip through it or just closely around the right. But don't go too far to the right, because if you don't kind of clip right through it, it's going to fail on loading the next chapter, which I just did early, so I'm going to have to restart. So you want to run straight through the pipe, angle your camera down, and as soon as it hits the bottom of your screen, stop running. Like I said, the timing is when that pipe is just at the bottom of the screen. Your cat's going to stop about here. Now you want to make sure you're towards the bottom of this wooden platform. If you're near the top, you've gone too far. So what I do is I wait till the cat starts falling, just like that. Then you go to settings and you change your frame rate back to 60. You can risk not doing this, but you might fall through the ground. Then you unpause, you fall, and you should see the checkpoint loading in the bottom left. If you don't see it, you might be too far forward. Just run backwards a little bit until you hit it. And then you can't keep going. You have to quit out and reload on the sewers chapter, because right now it doesn't realize you're that far in the game. So you quit out, start game, select your game, select chapter, and you want to go all the way to the sewers and restart chapter. It's going to teleport you over here, and boom, you've successfully skipped like, what, 4 chapters? I believe it saves around 20 minutes. Well, that's everything. And the 3 main tips that would have helped me if I knew early on that I know now after playing enough is, first of all, the checkpoint. I only found this out because while practicing, I always either got it first try or I wouldn't get it at all. And then I realized that if I reset checkpoint, I was always getting it first try. So I wasn't just placeboed. There's something to do with after you reload the checkpoint, you always get the small step. If anything, I think it's from the camera panning. I don't know, maybe that's it. Let me know if it works for you. The second tip is how long you tap when you jump down from the shelf. Just a little longer than a quick tap seems to always work. And the third one is the timing to stop running for the position to fall down at the end. It took me a while to get that right, and none of the tutorials really had cues, so I found that way, aiming straight down, stopping when the pipe is at the bottom, worked perfectly every time.